Hello guys, welcome back. So not only is the party back on, but Loki is 7 kinds of naughty fox. I really didn't realize it. And Odin had to be the one to come over and go, look at what's on the wall. And the pride flag is over on the wall. And he goes, go look at the directions. Do you know every damn decoration we're gonna have is gay pride colors? Just about every damn thing is rainbows. And Loki was being very specific. Unicorn and rainbow, unicorn and rainbow, unicorn and rainbow my ass. He wanted to make it about gay pride too. So it's going to be a party for both of us, a birthday party, but also gay pride. So we're going to have a lot of stuff left over for May to use in June. So sweet. We even found gay pride wrapping paper, this tissue paper with the colors of the flag. No, they keep going. So it's like 2 or 3 pride flags stuck together. And I honestly think they just made rainbow paper and they said, yeah, we made it for gay pride. Sure, we did. You know how companies remember all gay people at June, but yeah, it's going to be the gayest birthday party ever with the weirdest decorations. But it's going to be fun. It's going to be awesome. And I wouldn't be happy if my best buddy wasn't there. And he knows it. He wanted me to kind of, in his own sweet backwards, totally do it wrong way. Wanted me to realize that I should have enough love for myself to do all this stuff for myself. And I'm like, I think I love myself just fine, but would I do this? No. But then he reminded me, back in college, I actually started a tradition at my university. They would always have those things that I guess the popular kids started. And I was like 22 at the time. I had taken time out and then I went to university. So I'm there with like a bunch of 18-year-old kids feeling positively ancient, but long story short, there were so many people, so many of us were good Catholic girls, or were still trying to be. And I was feeling, but we were really quiet and some were hyper religious and nobody was making friends. So many people just missed out on a lot of this stuff. And they had a thing of sending candygrams to your best friends. And basically it was so that 10 mean girls could send candy to each other. And they made it ridiculously cheap, okay? And I kind of figured out their little scheme. And I said, can anyone join? She goes, have a friend. I said, yeah, me. And I'm writing down all the information. It was like just $1 to send yourself a fuck ton of candy. And she goes, oh, this is your room. I said, yeah, I love me. And these 3 or 4 other girls are looking at me like nice girls. And they're like, you can do that? I'm like, yeah, I also buy myself flowers. Hun, we're on our own. We're the only ones that are going to do this. I said, Jesus loves us, but he's not sending us candygrams. So it was epic. All these girls lined up behind me. And the mean girls were so pissed off because they're like, son of a bitch. So they had to share their candy. And, after the school realized that I'd sort of self-empowerment movement, strangely, we didn't have candygrams ever again, but all these girls were like, I can get my own candy. And Catholics, everything's a sin. So having enough self-love to send yourself candy. One of the teachers have found out, and you know how teachers are kind of liberal at these schools, and said, I heard somebody started something about sending themselves candy. Isn't that a sin? I said, how do you know I'm not an atheist? He just looked at me and choked on his coffee. And at that time I was trying to be Catholic, but I was a witch, but I was a pagan, but I was trying to be Catholic, and I started a rebellion. I started the candy rebellion. I taught young women to buy themselves candy. I'm like, you don't? You would not? I treat myself well, not vaingloriously, but I'm like, if I want something, I'll get it. But as for the decorating, I would decorate my room for the holidays because I was like, it was like a school spirit thing. And I'll decorate for the holidays here as long as we're together. But like for me, for like a birthday for me, I never went all out. And Loki's like, this is the year, girl. You're going all out. So we're still back on, and all the gods are invited. So anyone that drops by, that's fine. But Loki's like, they got bring you presents. So, so we're both wound up. And Odin had taken me shopping, and we got some goofy as hell stuff that I would have loved as a little girl. And I said, this is going to be the damn strangest birthday party for an adult ever. But, what we got the inflatables for, we got a couple of inflatables, is because I would have bought Mylar balloons, and I was honestly, I don't care who doesn't like this. I love Hello Kitty for life. And I saw this giant ass balloon of her on eBay, and I was going to buy it, but people were like, oh, it's like, really tiny. It's not as big as it shows it is, and it's a really tiny balloon. And the ones that it looks like they took a porcelain doll, put a child's head on it, and superimposed it into the picture. That's the only way I can describe it, because it makes everything look jumbo, and it really isn't, because they usually put the measurements in centimeters, knowing that Americans aren't going to be able to read that shit. So yeah, yeah, like the Americans will be like, that's big, right? And you get it, and it's like this big. And I got, yep, back here, because I actually at least have enough brains to go get a converter and see if it's really a big. But I said, people were saying it's tiny and it was coming in ripped and everything. So we picked out, just as a joke, instead of having, inflatables like that, we're going to have the balloons. So we picked out some unicorns. And I went on there and I was looking at all these pool inflatables I would have went nuts for as a little girl. And there's a grown-ass woman who also was doing this thing too. So it's like a lot of women my age are doing this. There are like everybody's, well, she is and I am, so everybody is doing it, calling them the Lisa Frank dolphins. I got a set of dolphins and I got a multicolored cat. And I'm just happy as fuck that we're gonna have them for balloons. And so we're going to have the gay pride weird balloon unicorn birthday festival, and we're going to have all, not a ton of gifts, but the balloons are going to make gifts, because they won't die like a Mylar balloon after, so hopefully we'll be able to keep those around for a while. So it's a nice selection of gifts, and we already have the drink spot and we have the snack spot. Because I said 2021 is so crazy. I'm getting this stuff now before the sun explodes and we all have a week to live. I said this is just a crazy year. I've been looking at the news and I'm like, well, damn, if I kept making, videos to check up on you guys every time something happens on the news, we'd be running 24/7 practically. And I said, now I'm smelling watermelon. I've been smelling these random smells. He's having fun. Before I was over making coffee, and I swear to God, I smelled those personal pan pizzas we used to get in the reading program. Same exact smell of cheese and sauce, and now I'm smelling like watermelon. I don't know. Maybe the neighbors are doing something, but that is definitely watermelon. Unless I'm smelling the Fanta, but I didn't get strawberries, so I don't know. Anyhow. He is really excited, and La Santa is absolutely preening, because all the decorations I got, like I said, a lot of them just happen to be, even if they weren't made in Mexico, a lot of the beautiful pictures of what people use them for are absolutely, Mexican cultural theme. And the same thing with the beautiful gay pride rainbow paper I got, and I'm like, you do you. And it's really nice, and she's really proud of herself. And I'm like, well, it makes sense. I've seen stuff from Mexico that has beautiful rainbow colors in it. So it's going to be a thing of, I think, kind of like one of her ways of getting my attention, because Loki takes up a lot of time, but she's still in my life. I didn't want to talk about her, too much on the channel, just because I had started this channel off with a series of videos about, actually about her, to go back to articles. And I was just absolutely flooded with people wanting to talk about her. And I'm like, whoa, I'm not a priestess. I haven't practiced for 20 years. I was upfront about it. I was like, I actually have only been, technically this year, it'll make a decade I've been working with her. And it hasn't been a constant solid decade. So I'm like, I can't pass myself off as an expert. I have no idea, how she's worked with would be different everywhere. But she's still getting, that skeletal hand reaches out, and she's getting her attention. Loki doesn't mind. He adores her. He treats her like another daughter half the time. It's cute. And um he's just really excited because we're going to have these silly inflatables and we're going to make it fun. And, we talked about it, and I'd said something on Patreon that's over there for you patrons about really this might have been the year I might have actually went on a vacation for my birthday. But I'd much rather we ended up spending less, for one, spending less on the party, food, decoration, wrapping paper, and everything included, and gifts too. And, I said I just would rather spend the time at home. And I said, really? We can go into VR to go travel. I said, that will be my treat. That will be my reward. Just have the VR running, have the computer running. I said, that will be my treat. That will be my reward. That will be the vacation. And I said, International House of Awesome. I said, if you want to give me a gift, give me that. And of course, for Loki to be there with me on the big day. And he's absolutely amused at what I picked out on my own. Odin is too. I had looked up wolf theme stuff for you people on Timo, and they're like, how come you're not getting up wolf stuff? There was a set of napkins, and that was about it. That was seriously it. And as you can see behind us, we have a ton of wolf stuff already. We have a ton of wolf stuff. We really don't have that much unicorn stuff, so we got some unicorn stuff, and it's gonna look silly and crazy. I don't know if we'll be putting stuff behind us too much, just because I have to be able to open these cabinets and all the decorations are paper. And we didn't really think this out, come to think of it, as we were buying decorations. Yeah, now I think about it, we really didn't think this out. We just went crazy and bought a bunch of stuff, but I think Loki meant to have the decorations like loop from the corners over to here. I don't know. I have no idea. We'll figure out something. We always do. And I said I give it about 20 minutes before the dot curtain I wanted to put up in the doorway drives me insane, and I'm tearing at it. But we plan to have fun, and it wouldn't be fun if he wasn't with me. And I said, it's not that I don't love myself, because working with Placenta, the thing I learned was, to live every day like it's your last. Not in a grim way, but like, and don't like quit work or something, but like if today was your last day on earth, what would you do? How would you treat yourself? What would you be worried about? What would you let go? Stuff like that. And you start to take a very different approach to life. I have this DVD that I think's out of print on her. And a guy says, he used to be pretty well and he used to party and everything, but then he started to, work with her and venerate her, and a little bit by little bit, tiny bit by tiny bit, he did not party so much, he did not drink so much, he did not smoke so much, did not do all these other things so much. Little by little, very naturally. Usually when she's helping you, it should be, very, well, everybody's different, but it will be very natural. And, she had to actually step back because she does have a reputation of, if she does have an altar, if she does have an active altar, she does have a reputation of being the queen of the household, and everybody ever come see her. She doesn't care if they like her or not, they ever come see her and say hello. So, and it's like, this would be a bit much because I've had one or two strokes. It's not like I would intentionally forget her. Like the other gods might not, realize that if she has an active altar, she's very much the queen. She's very much the queen, and everyone should notice her. And it's endearing. And we talked about it, and she has some little pieces she likes to look at, but it's really got to be Loki's territory at the end of the day. So it's mainly Loki's territory. It's still International House of Awesome. If I need to go visit Team Jesus for a while, I can. But I got Team Jesus. It was funny. I was on X Catholic Reddit, and somebody was talking about all the stuff that didn't make sense to them, and I think about 80% of Lokeans are probably ex-Catholics because they were talking about Loki. Now, I don't know, they might have done it as a joke, but I'm like, it's weird because I've run into a lot of Lokeans that are ex-Catholics, and we all thought the same things were weird. I don't believe in sin. I really don't. I'm sorry, I don't. I don't believe in the monstrance either. From the Jesus I've known, and I never met him in church, to be clear, so I don't know church Jesus. I don't know what he's like. The Jesus I know would be taking that gold-plated Pokemon catcher and I go, ooh, back here, and melting it down and giving the money to the poor. That thing about sell all of your earthly wealth and come with me and let's go help the poor and let's, do stuff. That would be the Jesus I would know. I would think he would walk into the Vatican just about have a conniption because where in Jesus' teaching was it about, get all this wealth and everything? I always had a problem with that. Like the church was always bullying us for money for children in Africa, yet the Pope has. Don't get me started. But anyhow, you know Vatican City. I'm like I have a lot of problems with the church, as you could see. But I think Loki finds a lot of people like that. They didn't fit into whatever the original religion was because I'm like the Vatican has probably quintillions of dollars, quintillions, like there's millions, billions, trillions, and then I think it is quintillion is an actual word of wealth. And, they have all the wealth that they could end all the poverty and hunger in the world if they wanted to, but do you see them doing it? And I'm like, they're going to have a lot to answer for, but I never believed in the teaching of sin. I never believed that, like masturbation was a sin or eating good food was a sin. Jesus would have celebrated and, had a party. Now, this isn't the Christian channel. Don't get nervous. But, he would have celebrated. That's what he was doing for a lot of his ministry, if you paid attention. He was going to parties. He was going to weddings. He was, turning water into wine. He was eating good food. He was celebrating. So, I think it's kind of why Loki doesn't care if he comes in. He's really not threatened because Loki knows, I never did like church and I've tried the UU online from time to time and I'm just not a church person. I can't sit there and be lectured at. I'd rather just go talk to Jesus for 5 minutes if I need to talk to something or talk to God, and that would be it. That's all I want to do. And if that would mean being sent to hell, which I don't even believe in hell anymore, well then too bad for me, I guess. So, it's like I just never believed in a lot of it. And an ex-Catholic ex-Catholic Reddit, they I go, what's a Catholic? They're people that worship crafts. I don't know. Anyhow, on that Reddit, people talk about a lot of it they just didn't believe, and that's why they left. And also, the thing about they're against gender reassignment, they're against gay people, they're against getting divorced, they're against all this stuff, and yet the things that they've done are just peachy keen, and I'm like, yeah, no, I'm done, I'm out. If God's gonna send me to hell for that, which I don't even believe in that place anymore, fine, great. Muzzled off. So, and I go woo back here. I just, Loki is a really good god. He's not perfect in the sense that people say, God is perfect. Like, people will be like, God never gets angry, God never blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, have you read the Old Testament? But he giggles and cheers. But, sometimes he doesn't land a lesson perfectly. Sometimes you get the exact opposite meaning out of a lesson and then he is making up. Sometimes he has hang-ups too, whether he's doing this as a teaching moment or it's part of his personality. I don't know, but it came around to he partly didn't think he deserved being treated so nice. He's kind of, funny, but what it was really about, even though he said he didn't think he deserved it, he wanted that fox for himself, but it's a very lucky thing to ask you for an indulgent present and get it, and he loves it so much, but then he loves us, and he'll hand it right to you. He won't keep his indulgent present. So I said, we'll co-parent this fox that's out in the hall currently. I said, we will co-parent this fox. So he's going to help me wrap the gifts we have. And we have so much stuff now, guys. We really do that. I said, we'll get these cute things. And I said, but this will do us, because we agreed, I don't need anything for Mother's Day, so I don't need anything, and I had done Mother's Day once or twice with Loki a couple years in a row, but it never really took, and I really don't have a goddess that I do that with. I tried once with La Santa, and we just kind of looked at each other and went, so we never did it again. So, excuse me. So we're not going to be doing, anything for Mother's Day. So, we could put all the effort instead of like going out and buying flowers or something. We put all the effort into the joint birthday party that everybody's going to be invited to. So, we're going to enjoy ourselves, and we didn't actually spend a ton of money. We spent, I don't know if I said it this recording, but we spent less than I was wondering if, I know COVID's a thing. I was wondering if this should be the year I go on some kind of vacation. And between transportation costs and then your hotel and everything, because I was thinking I'd even do a day trip, but I wanted to go on this trip to, there's a place called the Green Dragon, and I think it would be a couple $100 at least to, I would need an Uber to get there. You go on the trip, then you would have your hotel. Obviously, you go to this place. It's a huge couple acres outdoor flea market with a barbecue pit and everything. You would spend a couple hundred there, ideally, getting stuff you can't get anywhere else. And then you would, be eating stuff like that. And then you would come back and then you would need an Uber home and, all this fun stuff. So I'm like, yeah, instead of with COVID still being a thing, instead of doing something like that, I'm actually happy we're doing something at home and we can get up whenever we like, and we'll probably do the decorating. Birthday's on a Monday, so we'll probably do the decorating Saturday or Sunday. Saturday's his day, so we've been talking about maybe making it a weekend long thing and then like stretching it into the week and just, enjoying good food, enjoying each other's company. So, I hope I said something useful, but the gods really do want us to have the same love. Did I get that in here? The same love for ourselves that we have for them. If we would drop everything and throw Loki a party, he wants us to love ourselves that much. If we would do whatever if you're still working with Jesus, if you would do whatever for Jesus, do it for yourself. If you would do anything for any god or any other person, be willing to do it for yourself because you matter. You do, even if nobody has said that to you. That's why I use that crazy hashtag, that tag over on Patreon. You do matter. You are loved. You are cared about. You are awesome. You do have this. That's why those tags are over there so often. So. So it was really neat. I think I saw a bunch of Lokeans over on ex-Catholic Reddit. I talk about the rebellion I started in Catholic University? Anyhow, if I did, just tell me and I'll tell you sometime about the Candy Rebellion. And we're just gonna have a great time. We're gonna have decorations, and we're gonna have good food, and that's really what we want. He's kind of a hearth god, whether he was before or he is now. So he's a hearth god, so he's going to enjoy it. We agreed we're not getting one of those spinning light up candle things because I said that's a house fire waiting to happen. I'm sorry, but I said this kitchen is small and that is a house fire waiting to happen. It looks awesome, but I said that is a house fire waiting to happen. I said we can get those sparkler ones if you like, and we can set it on the stove. I said, really, but buddy, I don't want to do this. Was I gonna call you boo or something? I don't know. I said we're not gonna do this. But we're going to have a party, and we're going to have an open invitation to the other, the other gods and goddesses. And we're just talking about, because he's using it as a teaching moment for me, and I'm using it as an affirmation of our relationship, that it wouldn't be a party without my best buddy there. He is my best buddy. I love Jesus, but, he's not my best buddy in the way that Loki is, and he's cool with that. Same thing for God. Loki and Odin are grafted to my side forever and a day. I love all these other gods, but they know that if those two need time with mommy, as I sometimes put it, they might as well all step off because it's just not happening. The fox and the wolf come first. They always come first. They always will. I love those two. They know it. It's why they can be so bad and they always get forgiven. But yep. Yep. So, we hope you guys are having a good one. And, Loki's been after me for a birthday meditation. So I don't know if we're going to do anything like that. if it strikes, we were thinking about doing a birthday party with Loki meditation, but you know, if it strikes, like 80% of the ideas we get explode in the hangar, so we might not. If something comes up, we will. I really can't think of a possible video background we would have that might have to be a still one. It's like we're not going to ever hit that thing we did like we did with theme park with 3 or 4 different videos and the music and everything. But you guys let us know. So the ones that watch to the end of the video get to vote. But if you guys like what you see, like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you later. Bye bye.